What brings you and Greg to marriage counseling today?
Jake from State Farm. My husband calls him all the time. 2, 3 in the morning, it doesn't matter.
Greg, is this true?
Yeah, Jake saves us tons on our insurance, no matter what time it is.
And how much did he save you?
Hundreds.
Can I call this Jake from State Farm?
You've got to be kidding me.
State Farm is there for you anytime, anywhere. Just call or click today. Get to a better state. State Farm.
In Parma, call State Farm agent Michael Harley today.
Blog Talk Radio.
Pour yourself a cup of tea, put your feet up, and relax. Show host Randi Fine, narcissistic abuse expert, compassionate counselor for clients worldwide, and author of the groundbreaking new book, Close Encounters of the Worst Kind, invites you into her sanctuary, a place where your emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being are all that matters.
I know you're tired. I know you're weak. I know you've been broken down, fighting defeat. We know that we will rise above this pain. We know that we will stand up with strength. Everything's gonna be alright. Everyone's gonna be just fine. Telling you that everything's gonna be alright. Everyone's gonna be just fine.
Time to Heal is a fundraising single written and performed by Johnny Z for the Amy Winehouse Foundation. For more information, please go to johnnymusic.com, JONNY music.com. And now, it's time to meet Randi, show host of the podcast enjoyed by fans around the globe, A Fine Time for Healing. Pour yourself a cup of tea.
Sorry about that. I have a brand new intro, and I hope you liked it. I'm still working on the sound quality of that, but anyway, I hope you really like that. I think the song is amazing. But anyway, let's get started. Today, we're going to be talking about divine dream symbols. I mean, we all wonder what our dreams mean, and if they're prophetic or not, or if they're just us working out what happened during the day. But we have with us expert dreamer, author, and speaker, Amy Coello, and she is the mother of 11 children. Amy is a respected teacher, successful business owner with 20 years of experience in the legal field. She is a dynamic speaker and storyteller. She is an author, television host, and ministry leader in her community. Over the last 2 decades, Amy has been teaching, speaking, and equipping thousands of people all over the globe with the key principles on how to interpret dreams from a spiritual understanding versus the Freudian Jungian theories, importance of understanding the parabolic language of heaven, and how the divine source speaks to us through symbols. Amy's passion is to see each person recognize their calling, purpose, and destiny, and to run with it. She is the author of Dreams, A Window into Your Destiny, How to Talk to the Unchurched, and Dream Symbols. And now it is my privilege and honor to introduce you to my guest, Amy Coello. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. I'm so excited to have you as my guest. This is a topic that everybody is interested in, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
And thank you. So, why, in your opinion, why do we dream?
Well, I've traveled. I've been teaching on dreams for well over a decade. I worked with an international organization traveling and teaching on dreams. So, I've moved from opinion to research, and we find that people are dreaming for several reasons. One, there's this divine light, this creator that pulls us into a path of destiny for success and abundance. And by following our dreams and getting a clear understanding of what it is that we really are called to, what is your message? Everyone was created with a message, and what is that message? And not only what is that message, but then how is that going to play out on the stage called life? And we see that a lot of times, even though we've been given that message, here's the thing, and this is what I'm so excited about being on your show, because this is such an important topic. This topic is what I have been honing in on in the last couple of years, is the inner healing, and we can't play that message out on a stage called life until we have got through some roadblocks. And those roadblocks are traumas, disillusionments, just things that in our life, those negative belief systems. And so then dreams take on a whole nother aspect. We see people having calling dreams, and it's so funny because I tell my staff a lot of the times, we hear these people have calling dreams, and I want to shake their hand and go, congratulations, because your life is about to go spin way out of control. And I'll give you an example. I was given a calling dream where this guy stood out on a stage and he opened a white notebook and he called me out of a crowd, and I walked up to the stage and he said, "You will travel the world teaching the prophetic word." And I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, oh, awesome. So do I go home and start packing my bags because I'm going to travel the world teaching? No. What ended up happening is I got fired from my job Monday. So I went into this whole spinning, this divine chaos that came about because it was trying to prepare me. We were going to, this source, this energy that believes in me was going to take me and walk me through some traumas and some false beliefs that I had, some disillusionments that I had, because that's the only way that I could get to a place where I could play out my message on a stage called life. And so we see then that people go into what's called an inner healing type dream life, and that'll take place, it's very intrinsic, and then we see people move from intrinsic dreaming to extrinsic dreaming, and that's when we see people are starting to get a lot healthier. Maybe now they're ready for some leadership or some governing, what we call ruling and reigning, maybe some governing, because they're healthy enough to do it. They're healthy enough to play that message out on stage called life. And so that's why people are dreaming.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot of reasons. I mean, I understand that we can actually create situations where we can meet our spirit guides in our dreams. Mm-hmm. If we choose, we can do lucid dreaming, where we can sort of stop in the middle of our dreams and question things. How do you feel about all that?
I think lucid dreaming, where I write in my book about different levels of dreaming, and lucid dreaming is one of the third levels of dreaming. It's actually a gift that we've been given, and to teach people how. Now, a lot of people I find some people just are able to do it with no practice. It's just how they were, they're just really in tune. And a lot of people, we have to train to do that, and we actually have to give them their heart permission to go there, to be able to, if they're being pursued, let's say they're being chased in a dream, and that's a reoccurring dream, and they're always being chased, we teach them how to stop, turn around to the pursuer, and either tell them to stop or question them and ask them what they're chasing. What are they doing? What do they want? And so
that all changes when a person is given permission to be able to do that.
I think we give our heart permission. I think because of bad theology or doctrine or misunderstandings in life, that sometimes we can shut down our dream life. I come across people a lot that, don't understand why we dream, never really thought about it, haven't really given the time or thought to, they're busy. They get up, it's like chasing smoke. Working with your dreams is work. It takes work, and it takes dedication and discipline to do it. But when you do it, your dream life opens up to you, and you're flooded with dreams. And then it's like this divine creator doesn't stop talking, just is always talking, just always talking. And so we do give ourselves permission. I think it's not that we have to have permission, it's that we have to give ourselves permission to go there. It's almost like we have to give ourselves permission to heal too. You've got to tell your heart, hey, this is okay. This is a gift that I'm supposed to use in this 1/3 of my life.
Okay. So even if we heal from past situations and we have kind of a confusing day or a frustrating day or whatever, and we've done this work and we know how to do no, I don't want to say the wrong word, but divinely dream or whatever, to get these prophetic messages. Are there ever going to be times when we're going to get these confusing dreams because we've had such a confusing day?
I'm asked that question a lot, and in the years that I've been studying dreams, that the dreams that people bring to me, it was like they are able to be interpreted. And we can even get something, if you are remembering, the dream, the Hebraic word for dream is halam, and it means to bind firmly to. So if you're remembering it, it needs to be interpreted. Now, there's sometimes we can only remember just a little, and truly, the more confusing it is, probably the more parabolic it is, because it's a hidden veiled language. And it's given to you to chase after, to pine after, to run after, to uncover. And I always say it's like treasure hunting with the divine. And, to find that purpose out, we have to go run and chase after it. We have to work after it because it's a reward. And so if you are remembering the dream, it needs to be interpreted. Yes, we do understand that there are what we call Ecclesiastes dreams. Ecclesiastes dreams are just kind of the busyness of the day, and we're just kind of flushing. But those are not the ones you remember. Those are kind of the ones that kind of flush out, and maybe you might get a piece of it. 2 days ago, I forgot that I had dreamed, and I went about my day, and I was doing something, and it unlocked on me, and I remember that I was putting a hat on. That is it. That's all I remember. It was a dark brown hat. So that is the only piece of the dream I remembered, and it kind of unlocked on me through the day. And I said, okay. So I sat and I meditated, and I incubated it, in my spirit. And I said, okay, what is that saying? Well, a hat, sometimes is protection and hides, or what am I hiding? And brown is very specific, can relate to fleshly matters, and so, I had to just really work through that and go, okay, what am I hiding? And in my symbolism, it was putting on a hat, was hiding from something. So I had to ask myself, what is it that I'm hiding from right now in the natural? Because brown kind of represents the natural, the dirt, the brown. And so I sat and I incubated it, and, just that rose up in my spirit, and I knew what it was. And that was the only piece of the dream I remembered,
Interesting. Now, everybody has the naked dreams, which I guess it's feeling vulnerable, but you can explain that better. And then we also have the dreams where, we're at school and we haven't studied for the test, and all of a sudden we don't know what we're doing. What are these dreams about, and why do so many of us have them?
Well, we find that there's about 20 common dreams. We take people out on the streets, and we'll set up, say, like in the French Quarter, we'll set up a dream table, and we just interpret dreams as people coming by. And, they think it's funny, and they're like, hey, and they always bring us their reoccurring dream because that's the dream they remember. Or they'll bring us a dream about a loved one who's passed on. And so those are very, very common. And we have these reoccurring dreams because it's almost like heaven is yelling at you saying, hey, until we fix this issue, until you overcome this issue, we can't move forward. We can't bring you to a place of abundance, a place of success, a place of wholeness, because we've got to deal with this issue. And in my life, my recurring dream was striving. I was running, and I was always running, but it was like I was running in place, or I was running through molasses, and I couldn't just get anywhere. And I know when that dream pops up in my life, it's because I'm trying to strive in my own strength instead of letting the inertia of the spirit push me forward. I'm trying to do it myself, right?
Oh, okay.
And so Yeah, teeth falling out is very common also, and those are, depending on which teeth are falling out, your front teeth can represent your identity. Why? Because if you lose your front teeth, what are you going to do? You're going to hide your face. You're going to hide your mouth. You're going to hide your smile. It's an identity issue. And then you have your eye teeth, which is perception issues. And then you have your back teeth, is what you chew on. What are you chewing on? What are you meditating on? And then, then we have our naked dreams, whether you're naked at work, naked in a group of people, naked in the bathroom. It depends on where you're naked at. But the positive symbol is that it's vulnerability, it's transparency, showing people who you really are. And then the negative symbol is, hey, don't expose yourself. Don't give too much of yourself to this person or to this group of people. So every symbol has a negative and a positive, a yin and a yang, a positive energy, a negative energy, every one of them. And we see that, even biblically speaking, we see it with, the lion. Scripture says the enemy of your soul prowls around like a lion seeking who he can devour. And then, Jesus is actually, known as the Lion of Judah. So we even see that there. The snake, the serpent in Exodus is seen. If you look upon the snake, there's healing in Exodus. But then we also see that the Bible uses those symbols to interpret the enemy of our soul. So we see that there, and we also see that, currently, culturally, that there is a yin and a yang, a positive and negative. And so even with, test taking, where I ask the people, where in your life right now do you feel like you're not prepared for something? Because everything in our life is a heart test, all of it. Will you pass the test? It's kind of like a video game. If you pass this level, you get to go to the next level, right? And
right.
Dreams are that manual. Dreams are the manual of how to play the video game.
Wow. That's really interesting. So what do we need to do in order to learn how to interpret our dreams?
Well, there are many different ways that different theories that you can study. And I tell people all the time, don't worry about getting the exact, making sure you follow this person's theory or that person's theory, because here's this creator that knows what you have at your hands and at your disposal, and that's the way that this divine energy, this creator, this light is going to use to guide you, to pull you through. So I tell people, whether it's me you follow, then you're going to have my dream language, and God's going to speak through my dream language to you. If it's some other theory you follow, God's going to use that. Here's the great thing. He's going to use something to speak to you. So you don't have to worry about, how it's just get with something to learn how to interpret and how to understand those symbols. And I tell people all the time, go back to the original language. Go back to the Hebraic understanding, because it wasn't until Constantine's time that we really kind of went through losing our Hebraic parabolic understanding, where we went into a Greek linear mindset, which is not how this creator thinks. So we moved away from the way the creator thinks and processes, and we moved away from that. So we are on this journey to get back to this parabolic understanding and this parabolic life. And so I tell people all the time, it's very simple, and here's what I would do. Find your subject, find your verb, find your action in the dream. Say you're running from something. Well, running is the action of the dream. Where in your life do you feel like you're running? Maybe you're taking a test in the dream. Where in your life do you feel like you're being tested? So you take that verb and you ask yourself, where in my life do I feel this way? If there's an animal in your dream, where in my subconscious is this animal's characteristics part of me? Is it a ravenous wolf? Is it a bear? Is it a lab? I had a situation where I had a dream that had a lab. I actually do have a lab, but God used this symbol in my life to say, I was being too loyal to a situation. So you have to ask yourself, when you see this shadow in your dream, this type in shadow and ask yourself, go through each one of those symbols and say, how does this reflect my heart? And you sit and you meditate and you incubate and you allow it to rise up in your spirit. The answers are there. The divine guidance and strategy is there.
So what about prophetic dreams? Not everyone has them. Some people have them all the time.
We actually created a website called eyes2see.org, and it's a research project. And the reason why we created it is because we know that, the Creator gives us gives us guidance and strategy to each of us individually. Well, what must this Creator be giving us collectively? So our tagline is discovering our collective wisdom. And so why we created it is because we want people to go in and put their dreams in there, because we believe that some people do have prophetic dreams, and those are more of your extrinsic dreams, and it's actually a gift. And people think, well, if I'm not having prophetic dreams, then my dreams don't count. And that's not true. As you heal and become whole, you will begin to have a lot more prophetic extrinsic dreams for the nation, for your family, for your government, for, just situations that you have influence in. And so we created this website because we actually micro-proved our theory with the Dallas shooting, unfortunately, Orlando shooting, and also the Supreme Court Justice Scalia, whereas, we found that people had dreams that the shooting happened in Dallas. In fact, we had one girl who actually had the date and time of it. But here's the thing. If this person who dreamed that there was a Dallas shooting called the FBI and said, hey, I just dreamed that there was a Dallas shooting and here's the time and date, what they're going to do is hang up on her and profile her, right?
Right.
But what
exactly.
if we had 241 people who had that dream, a similar dream like that? Now we've got data and statistics. And we're starting to micro-prove our theory where people are having these prophetic dreams. We just didn't have a way to be collected and have a way to bring them all together, hire a data scientist, data analyst to get back there and build algorithms to pick up hot words, tinderboxes and stuff like that. And so that's
that
what we're
website
building
is
out.
eyes2see.org. That's EYES number 2, right? Capital C.
Letter C.
So it's eyes, capital E, small lowercase YES, letter number 2, capital C.org. eyes2see.org.
And it's free to use. It's a free journal. Everything that you have is completely metadata. It's all privatized, very highly secure. And on there, you put your dreams in, and we use those dreams, to just kind of pick up, because you may not think it's prophetic because maybe you don't have an understanding. But when we see people in different areas having dreams about certain, shootings, guns, presidents, Islam, we just pick up all that stuff. And so we have these hot words that we're looking for that create tinderboxes. And so, that's why we are, promoting our site to be able to find those people with prophetic dreams that are having them, because we believe that if we can gather them, that they have a specific role in our generation.
Well, that makes sense, and that's really interesting that you are gathering that, because it is there an instance that you can cite where over 100 people have had a prophetic dream?
Well, we do know that through 9/11, we saw it with 9/11. We were there were thousands of people that had these dreams. They just didn't come out until afterwards because people didn't recognize that they were prophetic dreams. People had dreams where they saw a skyline and it said 911, and maybe they thought it was an emergency. Maybe they made it intrinsic versus extrinsic because we did not have the training, the teaching tool, the awareness that it was more prophetic than we thought. But we saw thousands of people, and that's really kind of what drew us into this process, is that we think we have intelligence. We think that we can have military governmental intelligence, through esoteric ways. And so we have seen that, and now we are micro-proving. And when I say micro-proving, we just don't have enough users yet. We just launched in April. And so we, of course, are visiting radio shows and tour. I'm on tour now, getting in an RV and traveling the United States to launch this website and bring awareness to it.
That's great. So for my listeners, definitely go there. If you have some interesting dreams to report, you definitely want to go to this site. So what was I going to ask you? Okay. Dreams. So are the messages ever crystal clear, or are they always encoded in some kind of language?
We do see crystal clear, and we do see them very hidden and veiled. And the way we present that is, to the extent of their clarity is to the depths of the testing and the trial to bring it to pass. The more hidden and veiled, the more grace there is to working through it. So in my case, I had a very clear message. You will travel the world teaching the prophetic word, right? So the testing and the trial that came after that was very rigid. It was hard. It was traumatizing, I think. But, I look back on it fondly. Oddly, I can't believe I can say that, but it was fond. It was a year of my life that was absolutely horrendous. And a year later, I was launched into a platform on a worldwide stage. And so then we find that we find people having very veiled dreams, which are usually what it is. I will tell you that the very clear dreams are usually your calling, your message dreams. They're the ones that there's no veiled, it is what it is. Go here, do this. You're called to this. Very clear, and it must be followed, or you go into what's called divine chaos.
Now, I woke up one morning, and all of a sudden I heard, I think it was like the numbers 263 or something like that. Wait, let me see what it was. So I woke up out of my sleep. 262. It was the number 262. And I'm like, I woke up and I hear 262.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I started looking into that, and I discovered it's an angel number. Is that related to the dream, or what is that about?
Well, we do what you described just now is a different level of dreaming. It's called twilight dreaming, and it's kind of your second level of dreaming. It's usually where you hear the prophetic voice. You'll hear audible voices right in that twilight. They're the strongest points of your dream life. You'll either hear a song. You'll wake up with a song. You'll wake up with words. You'll wake up with images, very strong images. It's called twilight dreaming, and those are the ones you want to pay attention to. I would say if you were, following my teaching and training, we would say, okay, well, let's go look up in the Strong's Concordance what 262 means, or you would look up angel numbers, and you would find that, and then we also see people waking up at certain times with time references, and the more you go and research that, what you do is you find the weight. Where's the weight, and how does that correlate? And you feel a weightiness. It's called a rhema, weightiness. And you'll read through, say, you're reading through a couple of things on that number 262 or whatnot, and then you'll feel a weightedness, a thing that says, aha. It's what's called the aha moment.
Okay.
And you'll feel that, and that's how you know how the message is being delivered to you through a weightiness.
Interesting. I wake up with a song every single day.
Yeah.
So I guess I should
too.
be paying attention to the words of those songs, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially when you're like, man, I haven't heard that in a long time. Where'd that come from? It's a message, and those words, go and look up. Not only do we look up the words of the message, we also go research the history of the person who wrote the song. Where did the song come from? Why was it written? All of that is veiled messages, all of it. And you go into this treasure hunt, because then all of a sudden, as you're researching and as you're pining and as you're digging, and the treasures begin to appear to you, and the message gets clearer and clearer. And the more you do that, the more you're given. it just is given to you, and you just keep digging, and then all of a sudden you find yourself on this path where you're being guided by conversations. I went through a season where when I was being fired, that we actually it lasted over a year. We were actually given dreams, me and my husband both at the same time were given dreams of what was going to be said in the next board meeting. It was very specific, very divine. But you don't get there right away. You get there by practicing, by studying, by understanding the gift and digging and pining. That's when it becomes way more clear.
Right. Now, people often say, they think that a loved one came to them in a dream, but they weren't sure. And I know that when loved ones come to me in my dreams, it is a crystal clear dream that I never forget. I remember the details for years and years and years, forever. Yep. Can you speak to that a little bit?
I can. This is one of this is also, we usually get on the streets, we have people who come to us with recurring dreams, and the second one is about loved ones returning. It's the number 2 question we get asked because it's so specific and it's so emotionally riveting. My dad passed away in October last year, and it was very clear. He was a fruit consultant for a large chain, produce consultant for a large chain. And when in the dream he came back to me, and he was holding these big, huge fruits, like huge apples and huge oranges, and actually some fruits I'd never even seen before. And he was so excited, and he was holding them, and he was like, "Look, they're even bigger here." And I thought, man, things don't change in the heavenlies, right? A lot of things don't change. And what you do in the natural is what you are doing in the natural is a physical manifestation of what's happening in the spirit realm. And so it was really interesting because they always come back to give you message, a gift, or comfort. But they always come back to give you something. And I can, like clockwork, I can ask, well, what did they give you? What was in their hand? What did they say? And they always come back to give comfort.
Yeah. I just think that those times are so amazing. I wish I could have more of them, but they come when they want to come. So, Amy, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you think is really important to bring up?
I think that, our message is that we collectively are dreaming and that we have information and intelligence that can help the world. And that is really our message in this season here is, one, how do we get people healed? How do we walk through some, emotional traumas and get them to a place of wholeness so that they can have prophetic dreams and that they can have more whole dreams? And then what do we do with those whole dreams collectively as a body and as a community and a tribe? And so, as I travel the United States, we're looking for champions for our cause who will go to that dream journal, put that dream journal in, and use that dream journal. It's free to use. And we also have an amazing team of master certified dream interpreters that are behind there, that if you ever have a problem or you just don't understand it, you can click on the submit button, and we'd love to help you. That's part of the paid version, but that's how we pay our data analysts and our scientists. And they would love to help you, interpret that dream. And then if not, then just use it as a journal, and it's there free to use, and that is how we collect our data. So I think the most important thing that I have to say today is we're looking for those champions. If you're having dreams, be proactive. Start using the dreams, start using the journal. You'll notice that when you start using that journal, that your dream life will explode.
And that journal is on eyes2see.org?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, I was actually going to ask you about journaling because in what I've read before about dreaming, it's really important to write down your dreams and journal them every day so that, because you forget many of them once you wake up. So in addition to journaling on your site, should we journal on our own, or is this pretty much filling, both shoes?
It's very important to write. Writing, there's a very scientific, therapeutic reason that we write. Even, we see that, in the Hebraic culture. Write it on your doorpost. Write it on your hearts. Write it, on the wall. Write it, write it. So writing is very, very important and therapeutic. We also have, you can set your phone to where you log in, and you can set your phone to where you can actually just click Siri or your voice and record the dream, and then the dragon speech will type it out onto our site, and you click submit. So it's actually very easy to just record it as you've woken up.
So do they have to upload an app or something, like download an app?
No, it's part of the phone app. It's part of your phone app. Our website works with Android and iPhone, and so you just click in the button, you click record, and you just type your, voice type your dream in there, and you can go back and edit
cool.
it. Yes, and it's easy. It's very easy, and so it's so yes, I say yes. Keep a dream journal, even the smallest things that you want to write. Just keep that in there. Anytime you remember anything in a dream, whether it's short, whether it's a little bit, whether it's just some, put it in there. Put it in your journal, and then transfer it. I think you can even attach documents, so you can, or you just read from your journal. You can read it up into our system, or you can attach it to your system, or you can screenshot it, or whatever, and get that in the journal so that we can use it as metadata. But it will also, when you journal, your dream life will open up, because what you're saying to the creator is, this is important to me. And when the creator says, oh, well, if that's important to you, watch this. And it just floods open.
Well, I know all my listeners are probably getting very excited about this. This is it's very cool stuff. It's very important, and this is serious, but it's also really fun, because it's something that we just don't, the average person just doesn't know about. So I love this. And you, Amy, can you tell us about your books or book? Yeah, you've written 3.
Yes, we have Dreams, A Window into Your Destiny. It's a basic guide to understanding dreams, how dreams pull you in the past to destiny. And then we also have a mentorship program. It's $47 a month. We are a private Facebook group where we go over symbols, video symbols. We have, I think for the month of September, we're going over colors and stones. The next month we'll spend 30 days talking about transportation. The next one we're going to spend 30 days talking about buildings. If you're in if you're in a warehouse, what does it mean? If you're in your living room, what does it mean? If you're in your bathroom, what does it mean? And so we'll go through, if you're in a car, what does it mean? If you're in a rowboat versus a cruise ship, what does that all mean? And so we do a mentorship, and then what we do is what's called Dream to Launch. And Dream to Launch is basically taking the dream that you're calling and your message that you've been given, and how do we walk you through the inner healing of that, and then how do we walk with you to launch you out on that platform. And so it's called Dream to Launch.
And this is a book that, and how do my listeners get this book, Dreams?
Dreams, A Window into Your Destiny, you can get off of my website at amycoello.com. And there you can find the subscription page for the mentorship program.
Okay, and for my listeners, I have both eyes2see.org and amycoello.com as links on my show page, on Amy's show page here. So all you have to do is go to the show page and click on the links, and you'll go right to it. Very good. And you're working on a third, right?
We are. We're working on a 30-day dream adventure. It's called Adventures of the Traveler, and it's a 30-day study on taking one dream and walking through the dream for 30 days and giving a lot more in-depth insight. And I also have a show called Kingdom Flame, Journey into Your Dreams. It's on kingdomflame.com. And that is a show where we actually take people from an audience randomly that brought a dream journal, and we walk through the dream for about 30 minutes to an hour.
Now, when you say we, who are you referring to?
My staff. We have a production crew, and so what we do is we take people up from the audience, and they read their dream, and then we walk through that dream as a group. We walk through it, and we spend about 30 minutes to an hour, so it's very in-depth training on how to work with dreams, and that is on kingdomflame.com.
Kingdomflame.com. you are doing so many wonderful things with this. What's next?
Well, we are launching our radio network, and it is Eyes to See. We should be ready to go next month, and we will be working with experts, dream experts, and just talking dreams, and all the different theories out there, how they correlate with one another, how to work with it, how to recognize good theory versus bad theory, and then it is my team. And on the show, each one of my admins from eyes2see.org will be on that show, and we'll have listeners call in, and we'll take dreams and walk through them on the radio. So that's next. That's what we're launching next month. We're in the works right now, testing it out.
And just real quickly before we close, tell us about how you dream now that you've done all this work. What are your dreams like?
You know, it's so funny because I go through seasons where I just don't dream at all, and you know, they come and go. I've learned to just ebb and flow and work with it. I work with so many people's dreams that sometimes I get so overwhelmed, and they also, their dreams will kind of go into my dreams, so it's kind of trying to differentiate. And we're just in a season when people get really, really busy, they kind of stop dreaming. And what we're working on now and what I'm working on is incubating dreams, the dreams that you do have. And when you start to see your dreams kind of vanish, you want to turn back around, figure out why, you know, they're starting to pull away, and then move back into incubating that dream and how to meditate and incubate it in your heart. And then, you know, so the dreams come back. And so that's kind of where I'm at now. It comes, it goes, it flows. You know, it's interesting. It's an interesting journey, but they're very specific, and I take heed to them, and they've led me into some amazing places with some amazing people.
Well, I think we would all love to experience that, and I guess if we follow your method, then we can all experience that. So. Like I said, it's really encouraging and really exciting. Wow. Our time is up for today, and I want to thank you so much because I just love this topic, and I know everybody does. So I want to thank you for the work that you're doing, and, you know, this is really a global project because it's going to affect the world. So I want to thank you for all the energy that you're putting into this and all the work that you're putting into us. And I want to thank you for being my guest today and sharing all this with my listeners.
Thank you for having me.
It's been wonderful. Well, I have to say goodbye. So thanks again, and I wish you great, great success with all your projects.
Thank you so much. It's been great. It was a great show. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you later.
Okay. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, we are out of time today, but if you have any comments and questions about today's show, you can email me at loveyourlife@randygfine.com. Randy is always R-A-N-D-I, randygfine.com, loveyourlife@randygfine.com. And you can also go to my website, randygfine.com. Everything I do is there. So feel free, enjoy yourself, stay for a while, look around. I think you could probably spend hours, but feel free. And all my shows are archived after broadcasting, so you can listen to them on Blog Talk Radio, iTunes, or through the show links on my website. So thanks again for tuning in and listening to A Fine Time for Healing. This is Talk Radio show host, author, and Life Issues Counselor Randi Fine, signing off until next time. May joy and serenity always be yours. Goodbye.
We hope you enjoyed today's programming. To learn more about Randi Fine, read her articles, or to make a counseling appointment with her, please visit randygfine.com. That's RANDIGFINE.com. Or visit her on Facebook at Randi G. Fine.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift receipt.
What brings you and Greg to marriage counseling today?
Jake from State Farm. My husband calls him all the time. 2, 3 in the morning, it doesn't matter.
Greg, is this true?
Yeah, Jake saves us tons on our insurance, no matter what time it is.
And how much did he save you?
Hundreds.
Can I call this Jake from State Farm?
You've got to be kidding me.
State Farm is there for you anytime, anywhere. Just call or click today. Get to a better state. State Farm.
In Pharma, call State Farm agent Michael Harley today.